What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over the recent nerf Fortnite put out to Medallions, showing all the changes and letting you know if I think Medallions are worth using in Chapter 5 at this point. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you think of the Medallion change and if you're still going to be using them. So, we're just going to get into some custom match footage where I had one of my friends help me get all the medallions so I can show you guys how large the circles are now with each medallion and how the healing works. So we're going to cut to that, and then I'll talk about what I think of it and if the medallions are worth using after that. Alright, so recently Fortnite nerfed the medallions and now they reveal your location much more precisely than they did before. So go ahead and pick up one medallion, Sammy. That is the radius with one medallion. Go ahead and pick up two. That is the radius with two. Go ahead and pick up three. That is how large it is with three. And now go ahead and pick up four. That is the radius of somebody with four medallions. And then if you go ahead and pick up the last one, it's like super small. I think the last one actually is like the same size as it was before, but it's very small. One medallion is basically the same size of three before, and they heal much worse than they do before. Like, go ahead and drop me a medallion. And then like, shoot, what gun do you have? Shoot me with like one burst. In the body. Alright, go shoot another. Okay, that's good. And you'll see here, it takes a while to even start healing, but one medallion will only heal 2 health a second. And then it will only heal up to 50 shield now. So previously, regardless of how many medallions you had, you would heal up to 100, but now there's a cap based on how many medallions you have, and they heal much worse. One medallion used to be 3 health. Can you drop me a second one? I think this used to be 4, and now it's 3 for 2, and you'll only get to 60. Go ahead and give me a third. This will probably heal 4, and it'll get you to 70. Go ahead and heal me, or drop me another. 4 can get you to 85, and heals 5 a second. And then the final one will get you to 100. But it will heal, it used to heal 6, I think. Now it heals, maybe it used to heal 8, and now it heals 6. But go ahead and shoot me again a little bit. There you go. And you see, like, it doesn't start regenning right away. It takes like a while. It's kind of like how zero build was with the overshield before, or how it is in zero build, where like once your overshield is broken, it'll start to regen after you haven't taken damage in a while. That's how the medallions work now. So there's a cap on how much health they give you. They reveal your location more precisely. They heal slower, and there is a delay prior to being able to regenerate shield, where you have to have like a certain amount of time without taking damage before you regen. So they nerfed these medallions in pretty much every way possible. So as you can see, they nerfed them in pretty much every conceivable way. I feel like the risk for using them is much higher than it was before, especially at the lower rarities. Before the nerf, when you had like 1 or 2 medallions, you were on the map, but you weren't really on the map because the circle was so large, especially deeper in the game. It would be like there's somebody somewhere in zone. Like, it really wasn't that much of a downside to have 1 or 2 medallions, I thought. And then once you got to like 3, 4, 5, your location was more broadcasted, but you got like insane healing out of it. So I thought the risk was somewhat worth it at that point, and you didn't take much of a risk early on. So you had low risk until you got several, and then once you had several, you had really good healing. As it is now, even just using 1 or 2, the risk is pretty high, and it's pretty easy to like pinpoint people and predict where they're going to be with the 1 or 2 medallions, and the benefit of using them really isn't even that big of a deal. In addition to the circle being smaller, so like your location is more precisely given away, I also feel like you can see it on your map from further away with the recent nerf. Like, that player is going to show from a further distance. I felt like you had to be like closer to where they actually were before you saw the circle. Now I can open up the map and see like, okay, yeah, halfway across the map there's somebody with a medallion. They're coming from this POI, they're kind of going that direction. Makes it much easier to like pinpoint and predict where people are going and how they're playing. And I think at this point, the medallions really aren't that good. Unless you're able to get like 3, I feel like 3 is kind of where it becomes decent. And then like 4 and 5 are still solid. 3 will get you up to 70 shield and have 4 shield increase per second. But having 1 or 2 and slowly regenning up to 50 or 60 shield, I feel like isn't even that helpful unless you're just like super desperate or you have no healing items for some reason. And in squads, like, having everybody with 1 medallion, is it really that big of a deal? You would need 25 seconds of healing because it's 2 health just to get to 50, right? And so like if you just got done with a fight and all your shield is gone, right? They hit you a decent amount, all your shield is gone. Do you really want to wait that like 25 seconds at 2 health a second to get up to 50 and then drink like a big pot? Or would you rather just use your heals right away? Because if I just got done fighting and my shield is popped, I just want to heal as fast as possible. And with how slow it is to heal now, any chance you get third partied is just like more problematic for you because you're not going to be healing as fast. Not only does it take longer, but there's like that delay. And your location is broadcasted more precisely, so it's more likely you get third partied. So it's just like rough to even use them. And then if you have it, are you really even going to make use of it because it takes so long and it only gets you to so much? I would rather just heal and get to max health as fast as I can afterwards. And from the matches I've played since this nerf, I definitely did feel like I was getting like hunted and focused more by the rest of the lobby and in the other players in the game than I was prior to the nerf, and it definitely made it harder to play in some matches. This is obviously a pretty small sample size because the patch has only been out for like a few days, you know, but anytime I've used the medallions since the nerf, it's just, I feel like I'm getting constantly targeted and focused. Whereas like before, that would happen in some games, especially if you were able to get like several of the medallions, but it wasn't like that at 1 or 2 medallions. And that's like the main difference, because I feel like you have to go through that, like you have to go through 1 or 2 medallions to get to the point where they're useful, you know, like you have to carry them to get more. If you never take them, you're not ever going to get any unless you just get lucky and kill somebody who has all of them, and then there you go. But at this point in time, I think it's probably best just to like not play with one at all and just like play normally. I still would like to pay attention to the map and get rid of the medallion players because their location is heavily broadcasted now. It's easy for you to see the circle, kind of see where it's going, and then predict where that player is and what they're doing based on that. And what you really want to pay attention to, and this is one of the things that like really is beneficial that they show the circles from further away, is if you see several medallion players in one area, or if it looks like they're all going to like collide in one area, because at that point I do want to go for them and just like prevent one player from getting several of them. And then maybe if I kill those people and there's like 3 or 4 medallions all on the ground, like maybe I'll take them at that point, but I just don't want to just like consistently have 1 or 2 medallions marking my location and then also really not benefiting anything from it, you know? So I don't think I'll be taking them as much, but I do want to prevent other players from having them, and I do want to prevent one player from just like stacking all the medallions. So if you see that situation on your map where there's like several going in one direction, this would definitely be easier to predict in solos, because if you saw several in one area and like squads, it could just all be one team, you know? But either way, if you see the map looking like a bunch of medallion players are about to fight, I would want to go over there, prevent somebody from getting all of them. Probably you're going to get rid of a lot of the more decent players in the lobby at that point, and it's going to be easier. I feel like that point still stands from before, where like if you get rid of all the medallion players, you've probably eliminated a lot of the threats in the lobby. And then also while you're doing this, just keep in mind that other people are going to want to do this as well. Like it's not only a target on your back if you have a medallion, but if you're near a medallion player, like other people in that are going to know like there's somebody over here and probably be more alert. So just keep in mind that like these situations are going to be like very third party centric. It's going to be really chaotic, but if you are able to prevent somebody from getting all the medallions and prevent the better players from still being alive in the lobby, I think that's a good thing. So just a quick recap, I don't think the medallions are worth using at that point. Hopefully that point has been stated enough in this video. I think the risk is pretty high even at the low versions, and the benefit really isn't that there unless you get to one of the really high versions, and then at that point your location is like super broadcasted. So that's still something you have to consider if it's worth, especially in this season with how prevalent snipers are. People knowing where you are and just like hiding who knows where to snipe at you can be really rough. Overall though, I'm happy they nerfed the medallions. I would prefer for them just to not be in the game. Like it was annoying, especially in build mode. I didn't mind it as much in zero build, but in builds when you had somebody with several just fast regenning health and then like tarping away and like boxing away, it was just rough to fight anybody decent if they had several medallions, and it kind of made the game feel like if I don't just get rid of this person, I'm never going to beat them anyway. So like it felt like there was less thought to the game and more just like you have to get in on this person and eliminate them before all their health recharges. And so like if I'm happy with the nerf for sure, but I think it would have made more sense if they just nerfed the effectiveness of it, but not the circle size. If they left the circle size how they were before, where having like 1 or 2 medallions doesn't really advertise your location that much, then I think they would still probably be worth going for. But with nerfing the effectiveness and the penalty of using them so heavily, I really don't think they're worth using at this point. But that is going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you found this helpful, interesting, informative, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.